Hi David, I've got it working. Happy birthday for the other day, brother. Happy birthday. Can you see me and hear me okay? I know that's a boring question to ask, but hey, hello to you. Hey Chad, good day, good day. Beloved abstract, namaste. I'm Shoite. So I'm presuming you can see and hear, yeah, because I tried to go live a few times and it just wouldn't bloody work. Hey, Paul. Hey, my brother. So powerful day we've got going on here. Hey, Kay. Can I just call you Kay? K Box? Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you so much because I've tried to go live about 4 or 5 times. I don't know what I was doing wrong, but somehow I've got the sequence right again. Oh, thank you, David. Hey, Thomas. Favor to you as well. Favor all around. So the reading, sorry I haven't been around. Oh, Kim. Okay. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I haven't been around for the last few days. Lots of readings, which is a great thing. So thank you to those people coming to me for that. Powerful readings for people. So it's been a pleasure and honor to read for you people who came to me. Also, I've been busy. I'm going to get the videos out today, hopefully, that I've been busy with. And also busy in the garden, doing what, practicing what I preach, in getting ready as best we can, growing what we can as we can. So getting better at it. The fingers are getting greener. So we'll see how it goes. I want to get some videos. If I can get up to 1,000 subscribers, it means I can just go live so easily on my phone and just show what we're all doing. So hi Joshua, hi Tessa, mwah, mwah, to you and everyone here. So thank you for being here. This is the reading of the day. Again, apologies for missing a few days. This is life, and so I get out as much content as I can to you, the people that I love and appreciate. For you build me up by being here and subscribing. It's amazing what you do, and just the words that you give, the words of wisdom and the support is amazing. And so I couldn't ask to be around a better family, but life gets in the way and we have to get other things done. But this is the reading for the 18th of June 2021. Again, Power Pack Day, a lot of things happening, a lot of visions being coming in that I'm going to try and get out today. Sometimes it's hard for me to try and convey the impact or the images that I have as visions. And so I'm hopefully going to do a good enough job of that as the day goes on. So expect to see me a few times, hopefully, Theodore accommodating. You might be joining in for a few. So, hi, Joshua. Oh, thank you. It's a lot of different charms. So there's the heart, chains, crystals, and also, where is it? There is a cross. And for me, that's not a Christian cross, it's the cross of the person and the energetic pathway. So thank you. So for the 18th of June, 2021, here we go. So we've got the World card in reverse. The World card in reverse speaks to this block. And so individual lives, you might feel today that there's some sort of missing beat. There's some sort of block in the way of you attaining or going forward in the way that you plan to do so. But it's still the world. It's still a major arcana that represents you creating your own reality, you having your world in your hands. Now, in your individual lives, you might be feeling this from people around you, people who aren't of the same mindset, who aren't of the same frequency, who you're just not resonating with as you used to, or resonating even less than you used to. And so these blocks might be put in the way by individuals in your individual life. Be aware of that, and that's going to take having the wisdom to think of the bigger picture and think of your intuition and where it's being led, rather than people, especially who are still living under the spell of the narrative and still playing out that storyline for themselves. You might be feeling the blocks there with that in relationships too, where you're just finding yourself on completely different frequencies, and there's a block in a way of going forward. And so again, this is for you to think of, but the world is there in your hands. Think of the reality that you want to create, and to be honest, it is now or never. The energies on that window is drawing to a close of when I feel this event or events start to occur en masse. And so there's a buildup of the energies here. And so with that, you harness that. And with, yes, there'll be doubters around you, no doubt. Yes, there'll be people who are trying to pull you back from where you're being led to. This is for you to actually make the jump to say, this is my journey on my lifetime. And there are bigger things that I'm drawn to do, to be, for bigger reasons than just this little nuclear situation. So thinking further afield from that, it speaks of energetic blocks too. The frequencies are going crazy and have been doing for quite some time. Now I have the natural frequency change that I'm feeling, and a lot of you are feeling astronomically. But with that, they know they have people such as myself, bigger and better astrologers, astronomers. They have these people who are in the occult knowledge, the hidden knowledge, and advise on when the cycles and what energies are coming and how to utilize that. So this is where you always see that layer of the natural change, the natural frequencies, nature changing, plants getting bigger, animals seeming to get bigger, but at the same time they hijack that and are putting out frequencies that are of natural source from the above, from the below, and they're bouncing them off satellites. I've seen this, I've felt this, and so with that becomes the manipulated frequency and all of the messages that can be held within there. So you might be picking up on this a lot today, and this feels like a blocked energy. It affects the energy in the body. So, you know, I am what I do, and so doing some energy work today of getting that flow going will be very, very powerful. But then if you don't reflect that, hey, my Susie, my goddess, my queen, if you don't reflect that on your path in your individual life, with the relationships that you hold, with the practicing of what you preach, practicing of being led by your intuition, then that block is going to be more apparent. You need to be able to do the things in the layers of you, in the layers of your reality, in a symbiotic way. It's no good doing one thing, doing energy work, but then not taking the wisdom and the knowing to be a bit more discerning, a bit more King of Swords, Queen of Swords type energy to make the changes that you need to make in your reality. And so the Fool card comes up, another major arcana, I know. And so the Fool card comes up to clarify the world. This is speaking of there is a journey ahead. It is very different to what you have known. And you're being pulled towards that. And this is where you need to zero in. It's the zero major arcana on that 0 point energy within, and feel where you're being drawn to from your navel. Where are you being pulled towards, and having the wisdom to know that it doesn't always have to be all is well. It could be a perilous journey. It could be a mix of blissful moments and experiences of despair. But the Fool card holds the energy and bravery to take the steps in order to take the journey that is led towards. And this is in the upright. And so this is where the block is for a lot of people in their individual lives. There's something that they're not sorting out in their individual lives that is causing a block, that is causing something to not flow. And so this is where this needs to be addressed. Otherwise, this block will get more apparent. It will get more, what's the word? Apparent. It'll get bigger. It'll feel harder to diffuse, to transmute. And so this is a very powerful message for all of us today. And I'm going to go into the general collective type reading afterwards, I feel, because there's a lot to say about that too. So I'm just going to answer the door. I'm really sorry. It's so professional, but I just need to answer the door to my mum, and I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. I'll be 2 seconds. sorry. My mum came for Theodore, so she's sleeping over there tonight, so I'm sorry, but Abby didn't hear the door. So I'm really sorry, we had to just quickly put his bag together. Unexpected surprise. So that's a good surprise though. And Mummy's got more time to catch up. I'm just going to catch these cards from down here. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, ay, 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 Susie. Back in the classroom again. Let's go. Let's go. Wow. He's dawdling about saying, well, I'll wear these shoes. I'm like, just wear any shoes. Please, just wear any shoes. And bless him, he's a little darling. He decided that he was going to my mum's today. Nobody else discussed it. He just decided. So my mum's lovely. She responded, and she's just finished work there, and come for him. So good thing. So world card block reversed. You have to be able to reflect in your own individual lives the wisdom that your intuition and spirituality is showing. In unblocking that energy, you then have to transmute and reflect that in your individual life on the outside. And the reality, it all has to match up in order to be able to alchemize, in order to be able to manifest into your greatness, into your path, intuition, blah, blah, blah. Collective reading after the individual reading. Okay, I'm back. So Fool card. Being brought into that journey and having the bravery to take it on every level. And so this is the next card coming up, which is the Hierophant, another major arcana, number 5, which is change. And it speaks of knowledge, spiritual knowledge that can be then brought down into the reality. And it does make change. A lot of you are having so much more telepathy, so much more intuition, so much more psychic abilities that are just building. And this would be part of the natural cycle that is happening to a lot of people. And so having more of a connection with self, being able to hear those voices, being able to transmute energy. And so this is where the change happens. You can't have that level of new understandings, new understandings and overstandings without having a change in your personality, a change in your reality, a change in the type of person that you are. This would go back to the blocks in individual lives, that those who aren't really on this path of leveling up during this time, because there is a vast difference between people. Some people are really devolving and really disconnecting for various different reasons, infusions being one of them. And the other aspect is that I'm noticing, even through personal readings and through just reading the energies in general, that in duality, the other side is leveling up so quick, astronomically. And so this is where it doesn't sometimes match anymore in your individual lives. Sometimes there's physical things, routines that need to be let go of. Sometimes there's physical people that need to be let go of, because this is causing a block. It's causing a cognitive dissonance, a spiritual dissonance, a physical dissonance, where your new inner standings aren't matching up with your physical reality, because you haven't done the Fool card energy and been brave enough and bold enough to enter into this newness, enter into this new reality. And so to let go of those fears through the knowledge that is coming through and the connection of you to you in spirit form, you to you in future self form, you to you in other dimensions. And this is happening a lot. I've been having a lot more visions than I usually have of my interactions and my daily goings on in other dimensions or other times, for want of a better word. Some of you might have been experiencing that also. And it's weird. You speak to yourself from different places. And so this is happening a lot too. And so with this Hierophant card, this 5, meaning change, it's the hump day, it's the middle ground, where either way there's going to be change at this point. This is where we are at really from the collective point of view, but I'm going to shut up about that and do that at the end. So in your individual lives, this speaks of, you can see his 3-tiered crown here, his 3 level staff here. And so this speaks to the 3, the trinity of the esoteric, exoteric, and mesoteric. So the esoteric being that of, you can see the monk-like figures in front of him here with the shaved heads. That is, excuse me, to depict the space where they are able to and ascended enough spiritually to take on board, to absorb the lessons that are coming forward from spirit into physical. And so this would be the esoteric, this would be the hidden, the occult, not bad, not good, just knowledge. And this would be a lot of hidden knowledge. And this, again, is where we see ourselves with secret societies, but that's for the collective part of this reading. But it is where, for people with eyes to see and ears to hear, can only really have this knowledge. It's dangerous for neophytes. It's dangerous for people who are in deep sleeps and comas. It's a little bit like you can't sign a contract for many, many hours. I think it's 24 to 48 hours after you have a general anesthetic, because you've been sleeping, you've been in an induced sleep, and that has to work out of your system. And so this is where to give the kind of knowledge that is really coming forward for few that can understand it is dangerous, because with this knowledge there is quicker manifestations. With this knowledge there is an ability to mold and manipulate reality around you in a much quicker time and have an impact in other dimensions through knowing how to get through those gateways and portals and aligning the frequencies and the codes. And so this is where there is wisdom actually that is being used for bad now, with the secret societies being a rip-off of the ancient secret teaching schools. This would be dangerous to give such knowledge to those people, because they don't know what they do with it, basically. And so it also speaks to the exoteric. And this is where, on the public scale and in your individual lives, you might be witnessing people really buying into the information that is available en masse. And so the alien invasion type thing, and this is the dangerous part of it, where this is easily manipulated through propaganda, through headlines, through spell work that is put through those mediums. We also speak to the mesoteric, and this is where it's the middle ground. And so there are people in the middle. It's the middle ground of the esoteric and exoteric. It's the non-decided, the 5, the I don't know what to do with this information. So some of you might be coming across people today who are ready to absorb more information than they have been already. Tread carefully. Don't overload the information that you have to give to them. Just plant some seeds, let them cultivate it and grow it and come back to you if that is the case, rather than lecturing them with everything you've got to tell them of all of the years that you've been ascending through this research, through your spirituality, through your physical health, through the knowledge base that you're expanding into. And so this does speak to a great amount of wisdom being brought forward, but it also speaks to a great amount of manipulation being brought forward today. Now, the 2 of Pentacles is back to clarify this Hierophant. This is where I'm telling you there is already within this realm, within this timeline, there is this split in realities. There is this tear. People are living very different realities. You can see that even just on the surface level of people who are in this fear-based narrative. They just no matter what you'll present to them, no matter what knowledge you'll bring forward to them, they stay in that fear-based narrative, and they're making decisions from that space, which is a dangerous space to make decisions from. It's not discerning. And so they're cultivating more and more of this reality of control and oppression in their own lives and on the wider scale. And so if you are still putting up with people around you that are doing this, this is part of the difficulty and the need for wisdom during this time that I've mentioned many, many times, that even some families will split, will tear, because they need to be apart, that the resonance, the frequency is not matching. And so there is these different realities where other people are being able to see through the narrative, through what is happening, and actually that is elevating them to puncture through the veils that have been put over their eyes, even more so. And so there is this tear within, and there is manipulation of this also. I'm going to go into that in a minute. It does speak to the infinite. This person is juggling and making the infinity sign with that. This speaks again to the balance of the divine feminine, divine masculine. It speaks to also, you can't juggle for too long. I've kept saying this, and this card keeps coming up. Eventually, if you keep juggling two aspects of your material life that don't really mesh together too well, you have to keep them moving so never the two shall meet. This gets exhausting. This can only be done for a time before you end up risking dropping both pentacles and having two messes to clear up in your individual lives. So taking the jump now to focus more in on what you feel drawn to intuitively, rather than the narrative of how life should look. Whether you should be married, whether you should be with somebody, or whether you should be single, what sexual preference you should have, all of the labels and conditions that come with society having an impact on the Two of Pentacles. It does make people try and juggle that bit longer. And so there's something coming forward for you today that will click if this resonates with you, to give you the impetus, to give you the strength and the power resources to go forward on one aspect rather than juggling two very different aspects in your life. And the next card, another major arcana, this is what I meant at the start, and I said big energies. The Judgment card keeps coming up. Now in your individual lives, this is the trumpet, it is the draw. I've kept repeating it over and over, like the Two of Pentacles. This is where you don't allow others to judge you. That was never the real wisdom. The real wisdom is that you take time to recalibrate yourself, to assess what is to be left behind like dead skin in the dark that you've been cultivating within, and how you go forward towards your path where you feel the trumpet drawing you towards. Be discerning, and this is for you to do personally. It's important that you have the wisdom to shed any dirt off you that still correlates with you to allowing others to judge you, to being afraid to follow a path because of other people's judgments or ideals. And so this is a very powerful card for those who choose to use it correctly. It is somewhat like the River of Styx. You can see the sea in between is quite choppy between the people here in the background and the people here. And this also speaks to this separation of realities of where people are, what level people are on, for sure. And so on the bottom of the deck, sorry, to clarify that Judgment card, the Ace of Pentacles. So this is where there is newness and there is abundance to be had. Nature itself is so willing and ready to be working. It always has been with the beings on this realm. But there's some kind of deeper connection being felt for those who do have eyes to see and ears to hear. You almost feel like, for some of you, especially when I've been working with my plants a lot and trying to cultivate them, figure out what they like and what they don't like depending on the plant. You all know I make my potions and things to help people, and so being able to almost hear the clicking of plants right now, some of you might be resonating with, the being that connected to them, that you can hear that a lot of them communicate with a clicking noise towards each other, a bit like a Morse code. And so this is where some of you who have plants struggling, get some chamomile seeds and grow some chamomile. The same way that it relaxes us, the same way it takes anxiety away from us, it actually does that from the frequency that it gives off, the language that it speaks. If you plant some chamomile next to a plant that is struggling or a bit easily stressed out, you know, if it gets moved or something, easily stressed out with changes in weather. If you plant chamomile around that plant, you'll see it flourish. It does the same thing for them, which I find magical in itself. That is alchemy. That is transmuting of energies. And this tiny little dainty chamomile flower representing that power, that source of power. And so that's something to take on board today too, when you're questioning what is my path and what kind of impact can I have in this point of thought, of wondering what you leave behind and how far you've come thus far and what direction you're going. This should show you that this chamomile, dainty little beautiful flower, has the power to make a huge pine tree happy. This is where your source is. It's nothing to do with physical size. It's nothing to do even with this physical body. This just facilitates an experience here. The source of power that you have to hook into in your own right and then be able to combine that with nature is so powerful and so beautiful and should never be taken for granted again. And so this is where this abundance is. There is a recalibration also for a lot of people within this judgment card energy of letting go of the old paradigms of what abundance looks like and what abundance is. Seeing through the bullshit about the fakery of the currency that they brought in, when the real currency that they siphon off us and find most powerful, and the real currency that we're spending every day, each and every minute, is our energy resources. It is the biofeedback that we give each other and give nature of our energetic exchange. And this is where the power is. So a lot of you really taking that on board, and it's something just clicking with it about today that makes sense about that. You're feeling this deeper connection for sure. Bare feet in soil, in sand, in seawater. Very, very powerful today for you feeling that connection, for you recalibrating your skills, so to speak, and being able to hear even more messages from spirit. Now, on the bottom of the deck, we have again the Divine Feminine High Priestess, number 2, Major Arcana. And this speaks to the makeup of reality being hidden, like under the soil, the makeup of the plants that we see on the surface. There's this big root system going on underneath that is not easily seen. It's hidden. It's beyond the veil. So we see here in this card, and please check out my High Priestess writing on the wall card, because it goes into much more detail. But these are the pillars of existence, and they are made up of the Divine Feminine Boaz and the Divine Masculine Jashin in the white. And so this is where the paradigm of the Divine Feminine energy, that you see beyond this veil of pomegranates, the womb, the entry into the womb, it's protective. She's protecting the knowledge, again, the hidden knowledge of the pool that the Star card uses, the Temperance card uses, this pool of water that is the Akashic records. It is where everything is held, that absorbs hit points in history. We are then made of water and we can connect to it, but we have to be at a level where we aren't going to be a danger to the knowledge, to the wisdom that becomes a being and a tulpa in itself. And we also have to be strong enough in our own selves that some kinds of truths coming forward, especially regarding the degradation of the Divine Feminine, and therefore everything, because everything within this realm is birthed from a womb, every being anyway. Every animal is birthed from a womb. And so this is the dark womb unmanifest of potentials that these beings come in with, but then are limited and conditioned and controlled. And they did that by altering the makeup. The Masons, the Freemasons, used these pillars of existence to be able to manipulate and create reality as and when they wish, chaos and order through chaos, because they are in much more knowledge of than the collective of the powers of the divinities within. And if you can take out the Divine Feminine in the physical realm, you then take out the Divine Feminine, the powerhouse that it is. reflected in all of nature, you automatically affect the masculine that is depicted in this physical realm, and therefore the divine masculine that is depicted within each and every one of us too. So it's a move where you can almost hear them discussing way back when this hijack came of what the secret teaching schools were to what the secret societies are now. You can almost hear them saying, well, it makes more sense to actually go for the divine feminine because actually that's a workaround to, you know, killing many birds with one stone, so to speak. I really do feel, and I've mentioned this a few times, that these beings that hide behind the bankers, these shadowy beings that we do not know the names of, and that are not human, not that any of us can say we are human 100%. We've had different experiences and different mixes of DNA, even in this realm, let alone others. These, I feel, are female-led, matriarchal led society, and I feel that they have a huge disdain in particular for the female, for the representation of the divine feminine. And so this is where it has come from also way back when. And the hidden truths that are coming out now need to be discerned with a lot of wisdom, because again, there is a lot of mistruth coming forward to still maintain the narrative, to still maintain the plans and agenda that they are using the natural cycles for. And so to be careful with this knowledge, but to not negate it from your life, to start incorporating it, to really start to understand the powers of your divinities within, and the need to give reverence to the physical projection of you, but also the divine feminine and divine masculine within you. So it exudes from the within to the without, from the above. And this is the continuous, like blood going through your body. It's not above, below, out. It's continuous, bouncing back and forwards, a circuit board, a biofeedback of energies. And so to get this in place, to get your pillars of existence in the rightful place is very powerful. So you can expect to have a lot of females losing themselves, even spiritual females losing themselves, being not practicing what they preach, in that this energy is hot to handle. This energy is very impactful. The wisdom and knowledge that has been hidden away for so long can make or break you as a person if you are not ready. And so this is where you might find in your individual lives, particularly those in the chat, that you see women not acting in their divinity. You see women on the political stage not acting in their divinity at all. Even that is a sacrilege in itself. They love the sick humor, and so there's nothing wrong with, you know, being a man and wanting to dress as a woman. I could not care less. But they do care very much, and they do it for very different reasons. And so there are a lot of females on the collective stage projecting themselves as females, but one having very overactive reptilian brains, not in a balanced way, and they aren't actually even in this physical projection female. And so this is where, when we're seeing the twist around, the flip around of that, so even from these women that you would expect would aid the divine feminine being reborn, rebirthed into people's consciousnesses, actually they're doing the very opposite, deliberately so. And so this veil is very necessary to protect that knowledge. We do this as women in our individual lives by protecting the sacred portal, the sacred womb that we have the privilege of walking around with. We, as men, we protect this entry point into the unknown, into the unseen, particularly through sex magic, by being the master, by being that of integrity, that of wisdom, that of carefulness, that of compassionate nature, in order to even have the right to explore the divine feminine womb. And when I say that, I don't just mean the physical womb, I mean the portal that is depicted here too, the esoteric waters, the knowledge that is hidden beyond that veil, beyond that entry point, that just is this the entry point between a man and a woman, that is reflected also in the consciousness. There's a pierce through the veil, through the portal. Make sure you've earned your rights to drink from that pool of water, because it doesn't come without sacrifice. It comes with a knowledge of knowing much, much more than you did before, regarding the atrocities that the water holds, regarding the bliss and beautiful knowledge that creates wonderful crystals that are symmetrical, but also being able to be ready for the kind of information coming forward for you regarding the atrocities that go on here. And that can be in your individual lives and reflected out onto the collective stage. Make sure you're in balance. Make sure you're strong enough to transmute the energy, to hold the wisdom, to speak out when necessary, but to be able to transmute the energy and not let it block your world again into this shock, into this reverse point where you just can't quite move forward with anything. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords for the clarifying deck. This, you can see here, the swords meaning intellect, wisdom, thoughts, words, swords. This is where you can see very faintly, but this divine feminine figure actually has the two swords above her head crossing slightly. So there's two paths again, the duality, the two with the Two of Pentacles, with the duality and opposing forces of the divine feminine, divine masculine. This is where not being led just through intellect, but closing off the eyes with this blindfold to be able to really hook in through thought, through wisdom to the heart chakra, to know where you're being drawn to and to know what you're being drawn to do, and making a decision from that place of balance rather than cross purposes, and allowing yourself to be drawn by that energy. Now, on the collective stage, and I think I'll do a separate video to go into this properly, but the things that they are doing with frequencies right now, and the things that they are working up to with the special infusions in people's arms, and the way that they have a certain percentage mark they want to hit, is because they do want to bring in a very different reality, quite literally, a very different purpose for humanity. And it is perilous, and there are certain blocks to these plans, i.e. you and I taking action, being divine and sovereign. I think they've gotten a shock at still quite how many people are ready to wake up, or who were already awake to what was going on and to more of how this matrix is made up. So I think that there's a slight halt there, which is a good thing, but by no means can we relax in this. It speaks to them actually blocking certain people in the physical from seeing each other, posts on social media to create that distance that they've been loving so much, can create that block within the relationship. It also speaks to them manipulating frequency and really playing with the frequency and the new technologies they've been laying the lines for all around the world. And again, the 5, that change, that kind of 5, from that special G, will make a huge impact as far as their plan goes along the way. And so this creates mental blocks. It creates people not being able to move forward. It creates people being consciously fenced in and going on a very different journey, having much of their data, much of their information being able to be stored in a matrix, in a circuit board, in a AI. And this is deliberate, to be able to use that against those that remain. And so it's a little bit like, you do a transplant and you have to give medication so that the body doesn't reject what is being put into the body from another. But so they're putting in a certain infusion so it doesn't immediately reject each other, the person and the AI. They don't immediately reject one another because they're so different. There's a symbiotic relationship happening there. Because of this, you're going to see a lot more adverts popping up when you think of them. And I know that happens already, but I mean in prevalence a lot more. They're going to start to see... you're going to start to see maybe people seeing things that aren't there, and that is through a manipulated frequency. This is all playing around to get it perfect, to get it right. I feel the next 4 to 6 months is going to be very, very interesting. And so as far as the collective stage with the Hierophant, this is where we've thought that the propaganda had been bad thus far. This is where it's getting harder and harder to distinguish. So are they a good guy? Have they got the best interests of humanity at heart? Well, why would they say that if they hadn't? This really is a play. And so this is an all to play for. We're at the 5. And so it's really important that we seek our own knowledge and our own discernment. For sure. I think the vision that I had is going to have to be separate to this reading. I'll have a coffee and then I'll come back on and try and depict it as best I can to you, because this reading speaks of it. Now, for some people who have had the infusion in particular, are hearing a certain trumpet call, those frequencies being manipulated, they're starting to hear that. Some of them might be saying to you, can you hear that? Can you hear that noise? And you can't. They're playing around again, hooking into the person via frequency. And so this is going to be happening a lot also. And this is where they are on the other side of the sea, so to speak. Their reality is looking very, very different. Some people who've had the infusion may be feeling like they're going crazy, because they're seeing things or hearing things that other people are not. And this is where they are being led down the false path, a little bit like when we die. It would seem that a lot of people are met with the figure of Jesus, or the light at the end of the tunnel, and every bit of ancient knowledge would say, don't go that way. That is part of the illusion. It's part of the hologram to whip you straight back round, to be used in this realm by parasitic bastards that took over for a long, long time ago, and have been manipulating ever since, and feed off soul energy, feed off spirit of people that then connects into this sort of battery that seems like the soul energy. And this is where they're trying to get to regarding this hive mind comes forward. So there's a lot coming forward with that, and they're juggling both us, awakened people, and people. They're trying to get the balance right so their plans don't come crashing down. Also, at the same time, we are juggling because we're still not making enough of a stand, quite frankly, to say no, you're unfit for office, Boris, you're unfit for office, Biden, you lied to us, Trump, you lied to us, Hancock, and various other figures from around the world. You are all unfit for purpose. You are all now called worldwide a tyrannical rulership, and that is a no-go from us. But still, as a collective, we continue to juggle. And I feel very, very disappointed that we're really not at the point to be saying what I've just said there, that you're not fit for purpose. Out. So that's interesting. Now, as far as the Ace of Pentacles goes, if they, and I know they do, know how to manipulate consciousness so well through frequency, they really can create this very different reality. They really can create the promise of abundance, the promise of a new earth and a new way of treating earth, negating, as they have with everything else, that how earth loves to be in communion with people naturally, not through their manufactured bullshit. And so this is where there are different different starting points with people. Look out for the 26th of this month. Look out for the 21st, obviously, for the solstice. Build your energy up, do your part to put your force out there to meet with their opposing force. But but look out for the 26th and the 28th of this month for sure. Look out for anything that has to do with displays in the sky. Maybe, fireworks deliberately being set off so they know that people are looking to the sky, where they can manipulate a narrative to say that it's some kind of visitation, when actually, yes, it is alien technology to us because we haven't been allowed to see it, but it is alien technology perfected by human hands, and it will be humans, or that is depicted as humans, fly in them for sure. There's a certain frequency being put out during these times. I think they're starting to get to the point of where they start to test this vibe just tentatively to see what kind of, when you turn up the watts of something, what kind of amp and watts they need to get the result that they want. Yeah, so I'm going to go into a vision further than that. I don't want to say too much because then I'm going to muddle up the message of today and this vision that I need to share. So, the reading for the 18th of June. Welcome to 2021. So, excuse me for coughing. Hi, Al. Love to you. Susie, Q, beloved Gaia. Hey, my brother and sister. Love, love, love to you. Sean, brother, thank you for coming. I didn't get a chance to send you a message beforehand, before all of a sudden I realized it had worked and I'd gone live. So glad you're here. Let's see. I'll go up. I'm not going to go through everything as per. I'm going to be a little bit more strict with myself. I love it when people chat though. Susie, I am sovereign and divine, free and individual. I suppose you are. You're a beautiful divine soul, spirit. Apothecary? Is that? I need glasses. Oh, I would have forgotten that. Who are you to be an individual? You're the perfect individual with your individual talents, beloved. Joshua, hey. I think I said hey before, just in case I didn't. Thank you for holding space, Susie, beloved. Let's see, sorry. You're welcome, David. I hope you had a wonderful day, and we send absolute intent for abundance in every way for your new year of birth. Joshua says, I'm a tropical Libra sun, but a sidereal astronomical Virgo sun, which also changes nodes, dragon head and tail, and the ascending rising sign. Wow, it's a mix. Let's see. Good morning, sunshine. I love that. I called the little one Sunshine. I was always called Sunshine when I was little. I'm so sorry I had to dip out when I was handing over Theodore. Which shoes should I wear? Any shoes? I'm saying just go. Joshua says, what I have often wondered is whether or not numerology should change, since Virgo astronomically stretches into October. My birthday is 10/10/1980. Wow. But the sun is in Virgo's chest, so wouldn't it be 9/10/1980? Well, I often wonder about that, and there is changes happening, you know, the poles that are changing. And when you look at Asphyxius, I always say it slightly wrong, but William, my eldest boy in this realm anyway, my eldest boy, he would Asphyxius, I shouldn't have started saying that. He would naturally actually fall into that sign, the 13th sign that isn't mentioned too much. And so I often see how he reflects that sign sometimes, but then is very Sagittarius in other times. And he is the Two of Pentacles, he goes between the two. But I feel that there are changes happening to the lineup in the sky, and there will be new star maps being laid out. And so that's an interesting thing to think about. And I never say I'm an astrologer. You know, I love the planets. I'm very able to look through the lens of that planet and feel the energy and of the stars. But I haven't had the time to do the necessary courses to be able to know how to plot them. I had David on as a guest about a year ago now, I think it was. Susie, was it? I need to get him back on again. I got his book, and he wrote Star Myth World. And he's wrote a few different books showing how the depiction of the stars is within all of this beautiful ancient paintings, pottery and whatnot, how the above is reflected in the below, often not in a way that we expect. And so I do feel that these changes in the sky are having an effect on the huge amount of changes that we're having in this realm. The person I would always say to go to is Maruma too, but she is seemingly transitioning into plant medicine, but taking time on that. But the go-to that I have, because I will not say, you know, I know enough. I can look through the lens of a planet, I can feel the planet's impact on somebody when doing a reading. Sometimes that energy comes forward, but to be the master, that I think it's absolute sacrilege when people claim to be that, when we have masters like the Leo King. If you don't know him already, Joshua, go over and check him out, the Leo King on YouTube. He is just has such a connection and an understanding of how the skies line up and the degrees and the impacts on one another. And he does a lot of shows for free on YouTube. And I thank him so much, because he's actually made me grow in a great understanding of the planets as well, and how I use them in readings, how they come forward for me, and thinking through their lens. And so if you want to check him out, I would really appreciate you doing so, because he's fantastic, and I think you'll get a lot of knowledge from there. Sean, good morning to you. I think I've said good morning. Tadkins, hey to you, much love. Joshua says constellations move 1 degree every 72 years, is why tropical astrology is almost 30 degrees off. Yeah, and I always find that interesting, the 72. 72 is coming in my consciousness, being given to me over the last week or so, very much so. Even Wayne the other day talking about the 72 demons. And so there is these energies that are coming forward, and there is this time of change, I feel, that we're in, of this 72. It's mentioned in the Bible script a lot, and it's mentioned in ancient knowledge a lot. And you know, they do work on numerology and timings and energies coming forward through that. So I find that I'm glad you said that, because you're again just one of the people that universal energies have just brought that number to my attention. So I need to look at that more. Beloved, you are you're a seed, you're a plant that continues to grow, to be on a path. Who are you not to be? Susie. Dreams drama this morning. Right. I'll have to talk about that later. Susie, I have a feeling it might be all in illusion period and some interest in realistic dreams this morning. The stories in our heads are being molded constantly, absolutely, which is why every master, every spiritual master will say, mind your thoughts, cultivate your thoughts with intent, or they'll cultivate themselves. Good day, Brandy. Hey, Brandy, haven't seen you in a while on here. I'm so glad that you're here, Brandy. Beautiful lady. Oh, Putherberry, you're on Scotty's channel also, the captain. Captain. Let's see. Ravens are big clickers. Yeah, they are. They are. Very much so. Thank you, Susie. Share, like, and sub. She holds space so beautifully for me. Sean, sending you strength to get everything done that you put your focus towards. That you look at the end of the day and think, wow, how did I do all of that? Hey, Aaron. Hi, Jennifer. I was just wondering to ask you a few questions, if that would be okay with you. I know you are in live right now, but can I send you a private message so you can read as confidential? Of course you can. Of course you can, and anything, I'm super strict with that. Anything that you label as confidential is confidential between you and I, and would only leave our circle of confidence if you chose to do so. So absolutely you can, feel free. Well, the two pillars are the sun and the moon too, beloved. These things reflect more than one thing. The sun and the moon is divine feminine, divine masculine. The sun and the moon is opposing forces that work together, but actually opposing forces in the way that the Kundalini snakes are, in that they work together to rise and fall as and when needed. They share. The sun and the moon never actually going away or going down, but sharing the space that they actually shine upon predominantly. So yes, they do mean the male and female, divine feminine, divine masculine also. The pillars are reflected in everything. Beloved, the body is human, male, female, but who are we really? We really are awareness itself. Well, yes, yeah. Absolutely, there's both in masculine and feminine. The divinities are the scales within, absolutely in balance. I don't know what you mean. You mean animals are not self-aware, or aware, or self-aware animals? Animals are self-aware. Spiders have been seen to weave replicas of themselves in their own webs in real likeness. They've warn off predators that the web isn't empty when they go hunting, and it might just be that they want to see a reflection of themselves, but even spiders knowing, having a self-awareness, which is powerful to know. It changes things when you think about it that way. Awareness is what everything exists in. I agree. Yep, and us being awareness, everything exists in us, including reality and our future. Susie says, okay, that's it. I'm going to create my own reality now. Yes, you are, Susie, but you do. I disagree, beloved, with absolute love and respect. What you're calling reality is an illusion. Reality is what never changes, the truth of who we really are, awareness itself. But that changes, levels of awareness change. Everything changes. Hey, Peter, taking a peek from work. Hey to you. Hope it was worth it. Reality is not created, illusions are. Disagree. Well, they're not there to the person who doesn't see them, beloved. That's what I meant. These illusions that can be created, and if the intent is to, I'm going to put this frequency in people's minds for them to be able to project onto the canvas of the realm that we're in right now, into the physical realm, as physical as anything gets. I'm going to do that, then that's intent to create something that isn't there for the predominant amount of people who haven't got certain implants or haven't gone through certain MK Ultra style conditioning to be able to hear that noise and see. A little bit like if you hold your nose and eat, and this is part of the vision I had, if you hold your nose and eat, you don't taste it. There has to be the combination of the two. And so it's the hearing and what they're going to see. And so who am I, you're saying, to see things that aren't there? Well, if you're the person that is not the victim, but the person who has the focus point on them, to have that thing that isn't there to the predominant many put upon them, projected out of their eyes through frequency in their ears, then you are somebody who's to see things that aren't there because they're not there for you. Susie says, when you bite into a tomato, beloved, is the tomato real or an illusion? I think I'm getting confused by reality again. LOL. Heading to Tampa, Florida. Oh, you be safe, Al, and I hope traffic just goes smoothly for you and you have lovely weather on your way there, and that you are safe and that you meet wonderful people along the way that make you smile. That's my intent for you. I see people are using gulp in my absence, Peter. Yeah, they are. A lot. Let's see, I think I've caught up. Peter says, when someone says apple, do you see a steak? No, you don't. Good day, beautiful family, says Gaia. Beautiful Gaia. And the awesome Paul. Joe! Hey, hey, hey! How are you? I'm still getting to read through the things that you sent, so I will be getting back to you with that. I promise you I'm doing it though. It's lovely to have you here, Joe. Andrea James, hi. Some people have been saying that emails have been bouncing back. Now, the ones that they're saying that, some of them have actually gotten them through. So I know those people have actually been sending them, but then getting the message that they haven't got them. So, Andrea, how do I get around that? I'll double check. And when I next come on live, if I can't see them at all, if you want to send me, how could you do it? If you want to give me your email address and maybe I try and email you. But that's weird because you're the third person to say that this week. You had some doozy dreams last night too, Peter. Now we want to hear about them. Spill. Hi, Dick. Good morning to you. Oh, bad one, Susie. I understand that. They've been there for me too. Buongiorno, Andrea says. Apothecary, I am the divine Leo male. Grrr. Yes, you are. Grrr. You're on a motorcycle. Oh, Dick, I wish I was on a motorcycle. I love bikes. Love my bikes. Life is a hill. Get over it. Yep, and the hills are going to keep coming. Let's see. It's downhill from here, Susie says. Oh, so true. Brandy, I have Discord. I can post it in the dreams area of the Milky Way Soul Tribe. Somebody needs to teach me how to work Discord because I want a Discord and I want to know how to get on Milky Way's Discord as well as other people's Discords. Please, somebody teach. Teach me how it works. Okay, Sean, I've got to go too soon. So have a great day. Fantastic day to you. Humor is hard to get across in typing sometimes, I think. Like me and beloved can roll and disagree and still feel the love. Wouldn't you say, beloved? I would. Brandy says, I put salt on my mattress under the top sheet. It is a very good idea, Brandy, especially for a vision I had the other day, for sure. Let's see, I'm going to scroll down quick then and see for Jill, sister, hey. Hope you've been getting to that seaside. Joe says, that which never changes is not alive and is a contradiction to source itself. Agreed. Tell that to the mushroom, I've missed that. Awareness doesn't change, beloved says, only the stories of what we are aware of. Disagree. And the mushroom thing is funny. Joe, realistically speaking, but that which is antithetical to source doesn't exist, for everything is from source. Beloved, I think source does change with all of the realities and experiences that are being fed back to it. I really do. I feel that that is part of the whole reason, and that's why we are source and come from source, that source wants to reach out, wants to have its octopus legs everywhere to feel, to suck up the to absorb the experience, to expand from it. I do think it changes. I do. Let's see. I'm at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Much love. I hope this reading helps. Share it out. Well, don't share this one out, actually, because it was a bit of a mess. But the message was very not a mess. Very much not a mess. The message was very real and very true and very powerful. So use it for you, but try not to share it out because I don't want to give the wrong impression. but use it for your greatness for sure. And I don't mind all of you saying my mess up and going to answer the door and whatnot, because I'm comfortable with all you guys and girls. Love you all. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to have a coffee and try and get straight back on. So I'll see you real soon. Susie, thank you for holding space. I really appreciate it. Gaia, I need to make you a moderator too, but I'm on the restream. So I need to be on the YouTube itself. So I'll try and do that when I come back on, if that's all right with you. I'd really appreciate that too. It helps Susie out. Okay, later. Namaste, Om Shanti, beloved. See you soon. Much love.